Hi, I'm Rue, and I suffer from depression and anxiety. And today I am actually filming this outside on my porch that we are about halfway through with, I guess. Um, we got one side completely done. I'll maybe show you pictures of that. Turn the camera on so you can see. But it's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful day here today. It's sunny. The wind is blowing. I'm sitting, I was a little concerned with all the trees we lost due to the tornado that we might not have this beautiful breeze. It's always been up on this hill. And I'm sitting here and the breeze is just blowing through so nice. And occasionally you might hear my wind chimes in the background a little there. But it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous day. And it was all weekend long. We worked so hard this weekend. We closed in the bottom half of the porch. Of course, that was, had painting on both sides, inside and out. Went ahead and painted all the porch, like the upright supports. We painted all of those. Mr. Rue, of course, did all the construction. I did all the decorating. I have been working on this project for a few weeks, I guess, and ordering stuff, getting stuff in, and it's all come together probably even better than I thought. I still got a few things that I want to do. I've got a couple things I want to move, but right now this porch is it's 2 levels, and we're going to eventually the upper level, and where I'm sitting right now will be completely enclosed, and it'll be like a sunroom, so we can use it year round. And we'll probably take the window that's here to my right, we'll take it out and put probably French doors in from the living room, because that is the living room window down here on this porch. So we're closing in the part where you step down to the deck. We didn't close it in as far as putting the building the wall. We're going to leave that as with more like a deck type feel. It will be screened in just because I don't like bugs and like mosquitoes even less. And we don't want to. We really are going to use this area. We have friends over for dinner or whatever. We don't want everybody to be bothered with bugs and that kind of thing. We haven't got it hung yet, but I got a bug zapper. That's not exactly the most beautiful thing for a porch, but hey, you know what? It's worth it to me. But right now, all of this stuff is all of our construction stuff that we might still need or whatever for the lower part of the porch, which is coming up next weekend. We've just kind of been pushing it all down there. Because I was like, to the point I was like, I need something done. I need it to be done. I need it to look pretty. I need to see something pretty in all this chaos and mess that we've had up here with the tornado. Something needs to be pretty. So that's kind of where we are. But as far as depression and anxiety, let's talk about PTSD today. I was sexually molested before I went into school. Young child, and that is probably my first PTSD. I have suffered from depression and anxiety for years and years and years. All started from there. At that point, when I was married to my first husband, it was an abusive relationship, and I stayed in that for so long, enduring things that I'll never even really speak about, because there's no need to at this point. That's my past. Left him well behind in my past. But PTSD, played a huge part. Again, after I was married, after that marriage ended, I really had a lot of PTSD. I don't even still to this day. And Mr. Rue has never raised a hand to me, rarely even gets excited and yells. I mean, he, it's just not really our relationship. I mean, we're just pretty cohesive. I mean, every now and then we'll get in a little argument or spat, and we did yesterday, as a matter fact. But I mean, it's, it's little, something is, if I'm aggravating him or he's aggravating me, it might be just a quick, like, kind of moment, and then it's over. And when we leave it there and then it's done, we're just not, we don't argue for long periods of time or whatever. Now, we did when we first got together. It was, I mean, I think we just had to work through a relationship. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but even today, I don't like to get, like, if somebody like crowds in on me, I start feeling that panic kind of feel. Like the bathroom here is a good example. We've got a cabinet kind of over, it's on like half of a wall, actually. It's a large cabinet. But when you walk into it and you open it up, my little girl, she's bad about walking right behind me. And then I feel just stuck in that corner. And it's because I used to get stuck in the corners like that and I would have things thrown at me. And it's PTSD is what happens. That's one of the things, you get in a similar feel, and it doesn't have to be a violent thing. It was just that closed in, because so many times when I was closed in like that, something would be thrown at me, a fist would be put through a wall, right by my head or something. I mean, it is, and I have no issues with any of that, no abuse of any sort, any kind at all in my life right now, but those things do bring it up. They do trigger it. So I recognized when I started feeling PTSD again, I knew immediately what it was, because this was an event that I have never experienced before like that. And it brought that up. So the next week when it rained and it was starting to storm and the lightning was going and the trees were swaying, boom. I mean, and I'm afraid we're all going to suffer with it for a while. And we didn't even have the damage that a lot of our friends have and our neighbors. We were so fortunate, but a lot of our neighbors and friends were not. And I can't imagine. I mean, I know how terrifying what we went through is. And I can't imagine hearing your house be dismantled, hearing, not knowing when you came out from underneath wherever you were, out of the closet or under the, in the bath, wherever they got to, to ride out this tornado. I mean, I'm sure from some point as they were hearing that, they were wondering, will we get out of this? Will we make it? Is this where our life story ends? And then not knowing what you're gonna, if you do, you're alive, thank God, and you come out, what are you coming out to? Is there anything left? I mean, you can go down streets here and people's belongings are just thrown up against trees. I mean, clothing, chairs, couches, like cushions for who knows what, outdoor furniture, your living room furniture. I mean, cars are just mangled. It's, and it was a terrifying, traumatic experience. And when I saw all that leaves and got put back into a similar situation, I started to not be able to breathe. That anxiety kicked in. The only thing I could remember is my mind started playing those thoughts that I felt under that mattress over and over and over. My brain flipped the terror switch and it just continued to play that scenario over and over and over. And a lot of PTSD, time is about the only thing that can heal PTSD. I mean, you might need, an antidepressant or something for anxiety. However, it affects you, and those things are okay. Though, and you may not even have to be on something like that for the rest of your life, but use it to get through, the hard part, because time and positivity is the only thing that can erase an event and those bad feelings. You have to replace those bad feelings with good feelings. You have to be in situations where, yes, I can look, and these are the things that I'm working on with telling myself, is like, we made it through. We made decisions that would keep my family safe. And Mr. Rue and I, we did it on the fly. I mean, seriously, 3 minutes start to finish was the whole thing. And that was for me sitting down in the living room trying to figure out how to get to the back of our fireplace to unplug our TV by myself, to us being under that mattress and the tornado passing through and it being over. I mean, it blows my mind how fast it was. And now, it's going to take years to get past that PTSD, and lots and lots and lots of things can trigger any PTSD you've ever had. But you have to acknowledge that there's a problem. You have to seek help. You have to reach out. You have to seek help. I mean, I suppose there are times in people that can get through PTSD by themselves, but it takes so much longer than it would if I hadn't reached out and said, okay, I've got to find a counselor here that I can go see, and I've got to get this started. That will help me in the long run. I know it will. It will make me a better mother, a better wife, a better friend, a better daughter, a better sibling. It will aid me in every area of my life. So what I have to do in between, counseling visits, and, sometimes the PTSD can be so bad, you can't think. In those moments when it rears its, ugly little head and it starts to affect you, it can be so bad that if you're not practiced in your disciplines, practiced in your go-to, I'm trying to say, like, those things, if you're not practicing on a regular basis, those things that your help, things that can help you combat what you're feeling, you might not go to them first. You might not think about them immediately. Sometimes we need a family member or a friend, somebody we can reach out to, and they'll say, okay, look, let's think about something else, because that's the biggest thing. Anxiety often manifests itself with just rushed thoughts, just, flooding your brain as fast as your brain can process something, just, one thought after next. I mean, there's boom, 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 boom. And you gotta get away from that. You've got to focus on something else. You can, have a friend that you can call out to when you start feeling just nuts. Call out to your spouse, one of your kids, and I caution you about calling out to one of your kids. It's just my personal belief. I mean, this whole channel is my personal belief. I mean, I'm in no way a medical professional. I don't ever want anybody to think I'm trying to be, because I'm not. I'm just somebody that's dealt with a lot. And sometimes when you can listen to somebody that is going through the same things you're going through right now, or has been through the same things, and sometimes we have idea. It's kind of like a support group of one is what I am. But I can reach out to my husband. I can reach out to my mom. I don't like to reach out to my daughter, but sometimes she knows way more than what I even think she does, I'm sure, because she's smart. And she knows when mama is struggling. She can tell. I mean, you go to the bathroom, close yourself in the bathroom or get in the shower and you cry, trying to keep it. But they know, when I come out, I'm, my eyes are red, my face is a little puffier than normal, and they know, but I don't think you should use your child unless you have nobody else to reach out to, because it puts a lot of responsibility on them, and it's responsibility that your child, that type of relationship is never supposed to be it's just not supposed to be that role. You know, your child, you're supposed to be helping your child to grow into the adult they're supposed to be. So we need to reach out to somebody else, unless there's nobody there in that moment. But you know, I would I would caution you to, you know, not do that, and to have a friend that you can reach out to, and then you can go to them if they've seen, you know, if your children have seen you crying or see you be struggling, then you can go to them and say, hey, look, mommy was having a really bad day, but I reached out and, you know, I talked through whatever it was, and I'm okay now. But emphasize the point that you spoke out, you sought help of some sort, whether, you know, a personal relationship, whether you're a counselor, whatever you need to do. But let them know that that's what you did. Because if we don't start talking about this stuff and talking about it with our, you know, upcoming generations, we're just going to create more people that are all tight-lipped and terrified to talk about anything. And that's what I want us to avoid. There's nothing wrong with this stuff. I mean, everybody at some point or the other goes through a moment when they're scared. And you know, because my brain is wired a little differently than maybe, you know, my neighbor down the street, that's all it is. That's all it is. It's just different chemicals in my brain that work. You know, have not enough of some, have too much of others. I mean, you know, that's all it is. It's a chemical imbalance. And you know, that's what I want to emphasize. But back to my PTSD. Sorry, I went down a rabbit hole there. Reach out, tell somebody, look, I am really struggling. You know, find somebody trusted. Find somebody that's not going to go off and be like, oh, I got a phone call from somebody, and you know, you're a confidant. I mean, a pastor at your church, something like that. Somebody like that, your Sunday school teacher or something, that can reach out, and they'll tell you, okay, let's talk about something else. Let's plan something, or tell me about a good experience, that kind of thing. If you can't get to somebody, you know, the rubber band trick works. I'm telling you, those racing thoughts, it can really help. Just slap the fire out of your wrist with that, you know, the rubber band, and it'll sting. If you do it right, it'll sting. And then your mind starts to think about, man, what in the world? Why does it have to hurt? So, you know, you start thinking about that and not whatever, you know, triggered your PTSD. That's what I'm working on right now. I'm fortunate in ways, I guess, that I've had PTSD for so long, and it does get better over time. And you know, this will now be my third major event for PTSD, and it's like you know, and I pray you never have to go through it more than once or at all. I mean, that would be wonderful not to, you know, but a car accident can cause PTSD. I mean, you know, there's just all kinds of things and all kinds of ways that we get messed up. But I hope and pray that you don't ever have to go through that. You can reach out to me, send me a direct message, put a comment on the video, leave me a way to get back in touch with you. I'll be glad to chat with you. I'll be glad to, you know, answer whatever questions I can, tell you how I feel. That's pretty much all I can do, is tell you on my experience, this is how I felt. But do that, you know, and if you would, just, you know, subscribe to the channel. I try to pick different things here and there. I've kind of thought about starting a TikTok where it's just like, you know, just a minute little thing, you know, thought of the day, or, you know, how are you doing, kind of thing. So, I mean, there's ways to get in touch with me. And I'll do my very best to talk to you, to help you in whatever way, to help you out, whatever. But if you'll subscribe and like the video, send me a comment, we'll make this community get large. We'll learn how to make those good decisions so we can live our best life.